The stranded man kept slamming a coconut against a giant rock after spending countless days trapped alone on a deserted island without food or clean water. But wild coconuts were tougher than he expected. In desperation, he grabbed a heavy stone and smashed it down with all his strength. Instead of the coconut cracking open, the rock exploded into sharp fragments. One broken piece was razor sharp, and he quickly realized it could be used like a knife. After struggling for a long time, he finally managed to drink the coconut water inside, but it was nowhere near enough to satisfy his hunger. To survive, he decided to hunt fish along the shoreline. Unfortunately, he had lost his shoes in the plane crash. The moment he stepped into the shallow sea, jagged coral ripped into his feet. In pain, he tore apart his pants and wrapped the fabric around his feet to make crude sandals. Later, he climbed to the top of a hill, praying to spot rescue or another island. But when he reached the peak, all he could see was endless ocean stretching in every direction. Just when hope was fading, he noticed something floating near the beach. It looked like a person. He rushed down and swam toward it with excitement. But as he got closer, his heart sank. It was the lifeless body of his coworker. Fighting back tears, he dragged the body ashore, removed the man's shoes, and forced them onto his own feet. They were tight but still usable. He also discovered a flashlight that somehow still worked. After burying his friend in the sand, he carved the man's name onto a nearby stone. That night, he stared at the photo of his wife, the only thing keeping his spirit alive. Days passed, and soon the coconuts began running out. Desperate for water, he started collecting tiny drops of morning dew from the rocks. Another sleepless night passed in agony and hunger. Then suddenly, far out across the sea, he spotted a light. It was a ship. He shouted with all his strength, overwhelmed with hope, but the ship was too far away to notice him. The following morning, he decided to risk everything by using his small life raft to reach the ship. But before he could get far, a massive wave slammed into him and dragged him deep underwater. The raft tore apart and his injured feet were shredded once again. Barely alive, he crawled back to his shelter.
Now even the dew had disappeared. With nothing left to lose, he finally turned his attention to the delivery boxes that had washed onto the island with him, the same boxes he had refused to open for so long. The first package contained only videotapes. Other boxes were filled with useless things, a volleyball, divorce papers, and a pair of roller skates. But when he noticed the sharp metal blade beneath the skates, he used it to slice open coconuts with ease. Another package held a long dress, which he thought might eventually become useful. Only one unopened box remained. As he prepared to open it, he noticed a pair of wings painted on the side. Something about that symbol made him stop. To him, the wings represented hope itself, so he decided to leave that package untouched. Using the skate blades, he cut the dress into strips and wrapped his wounds. Later, he transformed the fabric into a fishing net and sharpened wooden sticks to catch crabs near the shore. But eating raw food became unbearable, and he knew he needed fire to survive. He spent hours rubbing sticks together the old-fashioned way, trying desperately to create even the smallest spark. Day turned to night, his hands tore open and bled, but still no fire appeared. Frustrated and exhausted, he hurled the volleyball away in anger. After calming down, he noticed the bloody handprint left across its surface. Suddenly, an idea struck him. He painted a face onto the ball and gave it a name, Wilson. On that silent and lonely island, the man had finally found his very first friend.